podcast of the week. It is Location Weekly. It's episode number 576. For our friends here in North America, locally here in Canada, hope you had a great Canada Day last Friday. And for those south side in Aubriana's world, I hope you had a good Independence Day yesterday. So despite all of the incidents that we heard about in terms of shootings and whatnot. So, praying for those families. But how are you, Brianna?
I'm good. I kept the news off for the weekend. So I feel like I've been living in a bubble a little bit with my family and, enjoyed the barbecues and the fireworks and just time disconnected a little bit with some other families. So, yes, thankful to kind of be in that, but now obviously coming out for the week here. And I'm sure we'll hear lots of the heavy things that are happening in our nation and in our world. But for the time being, ignorance is bliss.
Stay
So
in the bubble. Stay in the bubble. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Well, we have a good show for you this week. Four stories that we want to cover, and we're kind of, I don't know, for the most part, I think staying in the U.S. this week, or in North America at least, in terms of the stories we want to cover. But I'll let Aubriana kick us off with a local one for her.
yeah, so New York-based Pepsi, PepsiCo, if you want to be formal about it, they are celebrating summer, and you can participate through July 17th. Pretty simple campaign here. This is a chance to win some experiences if you are in the Big Apple, but also staying in the Big Apple. So across the five boroughs, if you see these QR codes on the bus shelter or in the bodega or local supermarkets, anything around there, you can scan those to enter. You can also go to a dedicated microsite that they've set up. And they are awarding 25 winners with a New York experience, and then a grand prize winner for the entire year of free experiences. So some of these are pretty typical things that you think of with New York. So a concert at Madison Square Garden, tickets to a Yankee game, Gotham Comedy Club, all those types of things. So kind of fun. And they've also brought back some of their custom labels with the New York City Pepsi. It's a New York theme campaign. So if you're into having those fun custom cans that are, disappearing here and there, that might be a fun thing to go buy if Pepsi is yours. So I think this is a good way to get opt-ins, in terms of gathering email addresses or cell phone numbers, from a local perspective and driving that. It's a pretty simple campaign that probably didn't cost them a lot of money in terms of the fact that they already had all of the creative that they had pre-run. The campaign was from last year as well. And, it's pretty simple just to kind of get those, I'm sure they're really nice tickets, but, get those things pulled together for a company like Pepsi. So I think it's a good way to just generate a little bit of buzz and something simple, not anything super tech, savvy or forward thinking in my mind. But I do think that it's important for these brands to continue to figure out ways to have those direct connections and direct relationships with their consumers in a day and time when our third-party data is dwindling, and you're really trying to be able to have that one-on-one conversation and drive more of that engagement. I think these little simple things can actually do a lot and provide a lot of impact down the road. So I think kind of doing this at a more local level is a smart approach, and obviously starting in the Big Apple is a good place to be.
Yeah, I kind of like it. It's kind of fun summer activities. I'm hopeful that it's there's part of the campaign around this is driving traffic to those local bodegas and places where the QR codes can be found. To bring some business back to these recovering businesses that suffered during COVID. So I think that might be an interesting aspect of this. Question for you, since you've been in New York now, how many of these places have you been to since you've been there and experienced yourself?
None. I don't think.
time?
I mean, I've been in One World Trade Center, but I haven't like dined there, but I've been there for meetings
Yeah,
and events. I'm
yeah.
trying to remember all of the list of things that you can go and do. I have not made it to
Yankee
a Yankee
Stadium,
game.
Madison Square Garden.
No, I have not made it to a Yankee game yet. And the concert that I was supposed to go see, unfortunately got canceled a while ago. So I will get there though. And
Okay.
I am going to go see a Yankee game, even though I'm not a Yankee fan. I'm definitely going to go do that. The
You got it,
experience.
right?
Yes, we were
You know
talking
what?
about it
I
yesterday.
was Yeah, I was looking at the dining experiences. So I've actually been to Red Rooster. Highly recommend it. It was an amazing experience. It's in Harlem, and phenomenal restaurant. Good night out. Highly recommend that, Brianna. You and Jerome go to Red Rooster.
All
Uh,
right. We're
put
not
it
far from
together.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Anyways, yeah, and I like that they've kind of brought back the local sort of labels on the bottles featuring landmarks like Brooklyn Bridge and things like that. I think it's kind of fun. Um, and the hot dog vendor stuff, which brings me to yesterday, with Johnny Chestnut there, consuming whatever 80 hot dogs in 10 minutes or whatever it was, which is ridiculous. But um, I like that they're keeping local and kind of embracing their heritage in New York. They're from White Plains, where they're based. So yeah,
Very
all
cool.
good. Okay, going on to our second story now. Now this one's kind of interesting. So Mini, like the cars, Mini in the USA, like every other car company, if you've been in the market for a car these days, is having supply chain issues. Inventory and availability of vehicles and colors and whatever you want is tough to come by. And so they decided to kind of lean into this a little bit and ease the pain of their customers that are on waiting lists and give them something fun to do while they're waiting for their new vehicle that they've ordered. And so they are selecting, customers on their waiting list, and they're shipping them out a life-sized puzzle of a Mini that they can work on and have fun with. Doing a puzzle that's full size of a mini car, and then there are also some regular size puzzles as well that are going out to customers. But it's kind of interesting because I know early in the pandemic, I think when we were all off and forced to stay home, there was this kind of craze of like all of a sudden everybody was baking bread and everybody was doing puzzles and whatnot. So I like that they're kind of sort of keeping with that sort of trend of giving people something to do while they're waiting. And I think it's kind of fun, right? Like it's minis are the brand of Mini is about, it's kind of cheeky and fun to drive and kind of unique. You typically, like if you're ordering a Mini, like you custom order it with how you want it, and colors and chrome here and this that and whatever. And so I think it's kind of fun that you get to kind of build this puzzle, while you're waiting. It's kind of weird, but it's kind of cool at the same time. What are your thoughts?
Listen, I have like this old lady tendency where I love puzzles. So this is right up my alley. If I go on vacation or, definitely during the pandemic, like I have a lot of jigsaw puzzles. I think it's a lot of fun and I can stay up all night,
Yeah.
with a good cocktail and put a puzzle together. So I like this. The life size thing might be a little complicated because I'm assuming it would take a really long time to put together. And where do you put that? You got to do it outside. And what if it rains? I don't know. Maybe in the garage where you're going to put the
I don't know,
car.
man. Get the kids into it. Get it
Yeah.
on the driveway. Yeah.
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 But it's definitely fun. And, I like that they're still keeping the anticipation and excitement going in these long delays.
I wonder if it's like they didn't specify, but I wonder if like I doubt it. The puzzle, like the life size puzzle, is like replica of your actual car that you like in the color and whatnot. Probably that's too much customization, but that would be cool. like
That
building
would be
your own
good.
car and then you're waiting for your, that car to arrive. So
Do you
anyways,
think it's 3D? Is it like a 3D puzzle?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to poke around and look for
Yeah.
videos of people building their puzzles
Mini
or something.
Cooper Marketing and Advertising, if you're listening, like we're curious, send us one. We would love to try it
Yeah,
out.
I've got a big table here in my office. I'll build a puzzle, and I will share about it. Let's do it. Okay.
Good. Well, let's move from cars to pets. And there is a new ring type of doorbell for pets. It's called Petvation. And this is kind of fun, this is interesting. It is a tech-enabled pet door so that your pets can go in and out. So it uses a pair of cameras that can detect when your pet is entering and exiting the house. And the door only opens like when they see your pet, not other animals. So apparently it's a much more effective solution. So, in comparison, they were saying in the story that the current technology for pets is like really relied on more like sensor embedded collars, which can sometimes go undetected or can get lost or damaged. And there's also nothing that really stops like another animal kind of following your pet in. It also, touts the fact that it's pretty simple in terms of it runs on 12-volt battery supply. It can be installed on basically any door. And then it has this camera and app combo. So the camera, just like other facial recognition that we've talked about on this show, is, profiling your pet's face. So it can be detected pretty much, any way and unlock the system unlocks. And then it has two sets of high resolution infrared cameras and 120-degree wide angle lens. It also has, the infrared cameras allow it to work in lower light. So it's more of like, security on your phone. You can also set a curfew for your pet to say like can't go out after certain hours, so that they don't just, I guess, go out in the middle of the night or, while you're asleep, which I think is kind of cool. And if this is your jam, you can pick it up. There's an early bird discount. They're starting to deliver these in October of this year, but you can get it for $169. Not a bad deal. I like this. I mean, hitting home to me, like I had a pet that got lost. So, when it was going out to go to the bathroom, I think it was very small. So we're pretty sure that during that time, another animal came and grabbed it. But it was like, this is something that everybody who has a pet that can go in and out on their own, or a fenced yard, just wants to make it easy, or you're out at work during the day. I think this is like a pretty genius idea. I like it. I like that you can, look at this through the app. I was like, does this, can you do this for your kids as well? That would be my preference. So they just like stop leaving the door open in the middle of summer. But I think this is a great idea. I mean, use of technology, a great use of facial recognition. It's not like a privacy sensitive type of thing. It's your dog or your cat, if you have a cat that goes outside. So I think this is really, really cool.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. It's interesting. We've talked so much about facial recognition and detection technologies on this show over the last few years. For the most part, there's a lot of pushback, on that from a privacy point of view. But I think like this is, a very positive, good use case of that kind of technology, right? And the fact that they're bringing this down to $169 price point, for a hardware-based solution, I think is pretty cool that they can do that. It works on any kind of door, wood, plastic, glass. You can install this, there. Apparently, it's airtight, windproof. So I like that they've thought about something that's robust and can stand up to somewhere. Um, and at the same time is kind of using the latest tech to make that happen. And the curfew part of it, like for me, is I think that's interesting, right? That you control the hours, and your dog or cat can come up to the thing at 2 a.m. and it just won't open for them, as it will, at other hours or things like that.
Yeah, you can reel in your party animal pet.
Yeah, your party animal pet, that wants to bring their friends in for, yeah. But So yeah, I don't have anything else to add to this. I think it's a great innovation. I think it's pretty cool what they're doing, and I like the price point. And if I had pets, I'd be on this.
Very cool.
So there we go. All right, final story coming here to Canada now. Walmart has announced a pilot partnership with Instacart, where they're creating what they're calling a virtual convenience store. And so, obviously, Walmart has many physical stores here, 4,000 of them, in fact. 400 of them, in fact, across the country. And what they're doing is they are basically creating a virtual convenience store using the existing network of physical stores and guaranteeing delivery of whatever items are ordered through the online Instacart ordering system within 30 minutes. So essentially, they've sort of pre-selected the 4,000 most shop items available on Walmart now, and they're piloting this 30-minute delivery with Instacart. And so it's all powered by the Instacart platform. It uses their Carrot storefront for end-to-end white label e-commerce, sort of enablement there. And this isn't their first foray with Instacart. They've been working with Instacart since 2018 on 1 hour delivery. This is obviously taking this a step down to 30 minutes now. I look at this and I go, okay, well, if I need something super quick, is it, where am I going for that, right? Is it Walmart? Is it, 7-Eleven? What kind of merchant and retailer am I going to? And is it something that I'm going to jump on online to do, in this way? And I think the reality is what I like about this particular thing is that it's partnership with Instacart. It's not, my first thought might not be to go to Walmart.com, right? But going on to Instacart or Uber or platforms where I'm used to quick delivery, and that's kind of how I think about them. Makes sense. So I like that they're kind of looking at this partnership in that way. 4,000 items. That's a lot of items. To choose from. Maybe I'm sure they've done their research on that and figured out that's the right number. But yeah, so this is new. This is only in the Toronto area here. Groceries, pantry items, household items, snacks, those kinds of things are what's available. And yeah, in 30 minutes through Instacart. What are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I'm just excited that there's a story that is focused in Canada for you, Steve. We don't get to talk about
Yeah,
that very often. It's usually here
yeah.
where it starts or both.
I'm gonna
Um,
try it out.
you should definitely try it out. I think so for example, for me, the relationship that Target has with Shipped, where they will deliver, it's not within 30 minutes, but I do use that, I wouldn't say frequently, but probably at least once a month. And I find that very convenient. And the fact that it's not just like grocery items, but again, to your point, if it's something I need really quick, Walmart is likely not a store I'm going to run in and out of. I'm going to go somewhere that's a little bit easier from a parking situation to get in and out of, like a CVS or like a bodega or a 7-Eleven, something that's just a little bit more seamless. So perhaps this opens up those quick, needs and, that budget that maybe they're missing out on a little bit. I think the biggest part, honestly, is execution and making sure that what people order is actually like reflected in stock. That's the biggest challenge that I have, is that a lot of times I'll order something and then, the person who's shopping for it is like trying to text me. And I'm, the reason why I did this is because I want to like just get it taken care of. And it said it was in stock and then it ends up not being in stock and I'm not there to like text with somebody. It's almost like I should just go get it myself. So I think it's all about the execution and how it works from after the order until the delivery. And so I think that's like definitely one area that, whether it's Instacart and Walmart or Target and Shipt, like that has to be ironed out a little bit better. So I'm just happy that you guys are getting this, there. But yes, test it out. Let us know how it goes.
Will do. I'll give it a go. And that's it. That's our show for this week, everybody. Four stories there, a range of things that are super interesting. Especially, I really like the Petvation stuff. And you've been listening and watching episode number 576 of Location Weekly. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. If you have feedback, if you have story ideas, reach out to us. We're always open to those. And we'll see you next week for another show. Have a great week, everybody. Enjoy your summer. And we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.